people pass by somebody who has been robbed on the road from Jerusalem to Jericho. One is a priest. Do you think the priest knew the law? Say yes. Yes, of course, the priest knew the law. But what did he do? He walked past on the other side. And then the Levite came along. Do you think the Levite knew the law? Of course he did. And what did he do? He walked on past the man on the other side. And then the Samaritan came along, the hated one, hated by the Jewish people. Why? Because he was different. They weren't Jewish. They were Samaritans. They weren't like me. They weren't like us. And therefore, they were hated and discriminated against. Did that man know the law? Not the Jewish law. He knew the law in his heart. And that law told him that he had to care for somebody who was hurt. He had to show mercy to that person, justice to that person. That's what being neighborly is like. Who is our neighbor? The scholar asked. And what he was saying is, somebody isn't my neighbor. And Jesus broke through that and said, no, everybody is our neighbor. Race does not determine whether somebody is our neighbor or not. Native place or origin of place does not determine who is our neighbor. Everyone is our neighbor. That's what Jesus is telling us. And we must care for everybody and do all our neighbors justice. So now, look around. Go ahead, look around. Hello. Look at the people around you. Okay? Now, if you've just looked at your spouse, turn around and look at somebody behind you. Okay? This is not easy time here. Now, when you look around, how many of these people do you know? You know, the man here says, the man with the mustache, he says, I don't know that lady back there with the long brownish hair. Don't know who she is. And we are what? A community of faith. We are a community of faith who believe in Jesus Christ. We believe that He is the way, the truth, and the life. We are a church. And if we are a church, a community of faith, then we are going to follow Jesus' example and His teachings. That's what church is all about. And so when Jesus tells us that everyone is our neighbor, we need to start right here where we are. So I've got a little assignment for you today. Don't just walk out the door and keep on going. Find someone you do not know and talk to them. And today, I don't count. Okay? Find somebody in the community with whom we worship together. And say to that person, hello, neighbor, how are you? Find out who that person is. We don't know what goes on in the minds and hearts of the people around us too often, and that's too bad. So today, that's your task. Find somebody you don't know and say hello to them, because we are a church. We are a church, a community of faith who believe that Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the life, And because we believe that, we want to follow his example and his teachings. And when we do that today, then we will hear Jesus when he tells us that everyone is our neighbor. Amen.